Yo, yo, yo. Welcome, everybody. This is our daily recap call. We're going to go over some recoup highlights, let you guys know we're cooking up. We're going to go over some rhythm game highlights, let you know the progress on it. And yeah, steady building, steady shipping. So let's get into it. Um, any care on where we start for the day?
Kick it off on your side. You did the intro. Give us the recap on what's your last week been like.
Beautiful. So last week on the rhythm game side, personal side, we launched performers. So, huge step in the right direction there. In terms of the rhythm game, we have been touching bases with people and kind of getting a more intimate look into how their experience with the game has been. Um, Two of the people kind of left on red or didn't get back to me. One left on red. One of the accounts I literally could not find anymore, so I think they like deactivated their Twitter or something. And then the other two people had the exact same thought process that we were discussing last week, where they're like, "Oh, I love this thing. I just haven't made time for it. I need to make time to sit down. Oh, I always see it when I'm on the go. I haven't done it when I got back to the house." So both of those people, out of the two, one tried it and was successful. One tried it and was running into an error. They were trying to upload a file on mobile and running into a problem for some reason. So I've been working with them, trying to debug that, see what's causing that. Because so far they've been the only person to run into issues with the experience. My first guess is maybe we're hitting our super base storage limit. Maybe it could be an iOS bug because it's coming from Apple files instead of a desktop. Still debugging that. On the plus side, we've had one fully successful user who found it, created a game, shared the game with their audience, overall loved the experience. And their whole take was like, man, I tried to vibe code this back in November, December, and I couldn't do it. So this is like actually a really useful tool for artists. And yeah, they had a bunch of ideas. So still that ideation period, gathering info, all stuff does seem positive, but it's just a matter of how can we keep refining the user experience.
I muted you, Sid. I heard all your clacking. Need me to unmute you? Do you know how to do it? I'll unmute you. There you go. You're unmuted now.
Fire.
Well, let's go.
Important commentary.
No,
That's
vital.
awesome. That's really,
But
really
yeah,
cool.
some pretty nothing too crazy. So I think keep those internal tests, those internal pushes going, and then just see where what other feedback comes through. But it's just that thing of like just finding how we could simplify that pipeline as much as possible. From upload to share, how could we just minimize the distance in that? But yeah, that's about it on my side. Nothing too crazy.
Did the person that used it all the way through, what was like their main takeaway when it comes to like how to improve it?
Honestly, they didn't have any. They really liked the experience. They were comparing it to this why do I forget the name right now? There was like a really popular rhythm game back in the day that was on the App Store, but they pulled it down from the App Store and it's not accessible anymore. So for him, it just felt like a rebirth. It was like, oh, this is a tool that like kind of existed in the past, but now it exists like in all forms that we could take and run with. And yeah, no major feedback. Like he like from getting the link, finding it, making the game, sharing it, having a call to action. Oh, post your score the whole 10. It was a flawless experience for him. So that was like, I don't know, definitely gratifying. It didn't really help on the like how we could fix the pipeline thing, but definitely a sign that like we're in the right direction for sure.
Do you know if he had success with the campaign? Like, do you know if what was or did he care about tracking how many people played the game, how many streams he got,
Yeah,
but how many people played, how many emails he collected?
I would say no success there overall. Literally like less than 4 people played the game, and that was our big conversation for him, was how to share the game. Like our conversation, like basically tangent off away from the app itself to
How to
the
get
conversation on
distribution.
X and Twitter. Yeah, because it's like, oh, I want to share the link with my fans on Twitter, but the second I share the link, it kills my algorithm. So I don't know how I could share this thing and still get boosted by the algorithm. That was kind of his main like query with it. He's like, oh, I tried to share this out with my fans. I feel like the second I shared this out with my fans, it killed my engagement and I wasn't able to reach my full audience. So that's something to think about as well. And I've also found the other person who didn't get all the way through to the share part of it, but I could tell he like made the same game a couple times. So I don't know if he was trying to customize it a different way or if he didn't know how to access his previous attempts. But that could be something as well. If there's like a database of all the songs created, that could both help the artists get recognition, and then also if they want to refine their song or something like that, then it's all just in one location. So that's a potential, idea as well.
So awesome. What's next steps? Just going to keep refining it?
Yeah, keep refining. I think more feedback in terms. I think doubling down on the share side. I think maybe the database of all the games, like on that homepage, there's so much blank space. At the bottom, there could be try some of the games, try some of the user created content or something. Click a page, it lists all the games that have been created. So that way people, before they, for all those people who get it and it's like, oh, I'm going to make one when I go home, they could just play a game on the spot to try it out, get inspiration. And it also will help facilitate growth for the artists. And then also it will be easier to point people to the website so they don't have to follow a complex URL. You could just tell them, go to this website. On that website, they could find their art without even having a direct link. So that might help the process. But that's outside of that, I just want to keep gathering feedback.
Yeah, keep gathering feedback, because I think eventually once we get the next step, like we were saying in the chat, of like connecting it to Recoup, so it could be a tool call to like make me a game, and then it makes them a game, which is probably doable. We just gotta make sure like the flow is right.
Yeah.
But awesome. All right, cool, dude.
Let's go.
If you need any help with anything, Sweets, how we doing?
Bet.
The chat was broken when I woke up today. We didn't make any changes, and then the chat was fixed. I don't like that I don't know what the error is, and I don't know why it went down and why it is working now. Without concrete knowledge, it's hard to navigate reality to make a fix. So I'm going to keep focusing on getting the instant chat up to parity. The main question I have is what features are missing from the instant route to bring it up to parity with the normal chat route. I think the biggest things are memories need to be stored. The memories that are sent need to get stored. The room needs to get created. At some point, we need to redirect them over to the chat room invisibly. And what you said, Sid, of during the tool call, we need to still have that thinking text so people don't think it's broke. Questions I had for Isaiah. I liked your question of how can we simplify the game creation process from upload to share. That ties right into the original question I wanted to ask you, which is how can the game be integrated into Recoup? Right now, the game creation process, you have a page for game creation. And my mental model for where interfaces are heading, our agents are the interface. We will have fewer humans going to web pages and more humans talking to agents in Telegram, text message, voice chat, maybe a web page, but a bunch of different interfaces. And the agent can do this construction. So I would love to start thinking through how to integrate the game builder into the Recoup chat to align the efforts. And so I guess a question for Sid and Isaiah is what is missing from the game builder what is missing before we want to integrate it into Recoup? Is there anything missing? Is it now time to start integrating it into Recoup? Is this, Sid already said it, so I'm not going to say, is it not the path we want to go down? I think we're all aligned that we want to integrate it in. So what's missing? If nothing's missing, what is the next step to do the integration? But this is not my task. On my task, I'm trying to get the chat to be instant so that is at par with the most top tier chats. And my next steps are to get it onto Parity. And the Parity things are store memories, create the new room, add the thinking spinner during tool calls. I'll stop there and throw it over to Sid.
Do you also have this knowledge base on your list? And you said one other thing that you didn't get to yesterday, but I want to make sure that we don't forget those once the instant is implemented. Knowledge base has been a huge addition to the success of, or just like this, the knowledge, the chat being smarter off the rip. So I want to make sure we have that.
If you were to rank the features I said to get it up to parity, which single thing in the list is going to add the most value to instant chat? Knowledge base, memories, room creation, thinking, spinning text during tool calls.
All three, except for thinking spinning, are equal. Like they all need to be there to be up to par. Thinking spinning is the addition that we currently don't have. That will just be an added plus.
Copy.
All right, cool. Do you have a 2 o'clock?
Henno and I are supposed to be chatting. I know he's on a European tour right now, so part of me thinks he's not even going to show up to the meeting, but I am scheduled for a meeting right now.
All right. Can you want to ping him and I'll share my updates, and then I'll go as fast as I can unless he says otherwise.
Perfect.
All right. So on my end, I have some big updates. So the first thing update is I shipped a new initial chat, which now says the username and the artist selected. Can you guys see my screen? No, you can't.
1 sec.
Nope.
No, I cannot see your screen.
Share entire screen. All right, can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Sweet. All right, cool. So I just shipped this Sweets because it was just UI changes. So it's now the initial chat says the username, and then it says the artist name here, instead of previously we had just like the regular text saying, ask me anything about your chat.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's cool because it just kind of changes and
love it,
etc. The other thing I shipped was Vercel Analytics is now live.
No, show us.
Well, I have to go to Vercel.
Inspired by Isaiah doing it first.
Yeah, for real. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Oh, yeah, live.
I'm going over to the chat. Tell me if it jumps up by one. Chat.recoupable.com. Page is loading. I see your updates. Tell me to ask anything about Sweetman.eth.
Oh, come on. Oh, wait, am I in production?
I'm on production.
Does it take a second?
Maybe. Might not be accurate, even though I would expect that to be on par. Does it say any countries down below? Just US. So I don't think it's picked me up because it would have added Chile if it picked me up.
Yeah. I mean, oh, there it is too.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
Thank God.
Let's go.
Did it throw Chile in too? Still just US, but okay. At least it got number 2.
Yeah, I think it lags for a second.
There it is.
There we go.
Nice.
All right, cool. So that is shipped. So those two are shipped and merged and shipped.
Let's go.
The thing that I need help with, Sweets, once you can, is there's the rename and delete chat PR is still open. I updated your changes to make that the long code split into multiple functions.
Okay.
So that is ready to go when you are ready to review. And then finally, I shipped this, which is my new favorite thing. Okay, cool. So now we have a user conversations dashboard where we can see all the user conversations.
Yeah, you can see me chatting about Arweave tokens.
Exactly. Now, what's cool is we can also exclude test emails, so we can remove me suites, anybody who's using test emails.
Oh, nice.
To just see actual users, and you can see who's on this list. Current test emails is this, and anybody who has like a plus in their email, or anybody that has example.com.
This is like a real thing. This is functionality and everything. So you're telling me outside of the official accounts, the last person to use the chat was 4 days ago?
Correct. And we can say we can see exactly what they said, and we can see where they stopped talking. We can see reasoning here.
Wow.
So I've been diving into this, and I set it up. This is where I was telling you, Sweets, like where I couldn't dog food here with this because I wanted to export all to CSV. So you can export JSON just this, or you can export all to CSV, and it'll export everything with all the messages and everything. So you can load it into an LLM and have a discussion about everything with it. And some of like the discussions are really interesting with like where people are getting hung up. Some of the big insights are people do use suggested pills more than just creating their own conversations. Like TikTok analytics is the number one thing that people are requesting, and that's the number one suggested prompt that we have showing up. So those suggested prompts are really important. So I think that's one of the next steps that I'm going to start thinking through is like, are they the correct suggested prompts to deliver the user immediate value when clicking? Because I know we're focusing more on Instagram than TikTok now. So yeah, thinking through that, and then just walking through this and seeing like Jackson from Hume had some conversation. Oh, so you can also do this, which is great. Once you see somebody, you can search and see all of their conversations that they're having with which artist, etc. And Jackson from Hume was great because you can see where is like this conversation. It tells us exactly what his problems were. He said, do a deep dive. Now, again, this was 320, so I don't know what I don't know if this was pre or post reasoning. I don't know if this was pre or post perplexity. But we can see like what he was asking and what he expected. Like, can I see the metrics? And then it gave him this information. Then he asked, how can I grow my Spotify streams? I want a viral funk song. And then it gave him this. It said, how can I boost Spotify playlist spots? It gave him this. Like, and so like, it's just like, you're literally watching how they're talking, which is fucking amazing because you can see where the forks that they go in their conversation and when they get caught up. The cool part about it is right now there's not an overload amount of users where we can't just go through this manually to really dive in, right? It's not so much where it's impossible to like not do it manually. But those are my big updates where for product.
That's fire.
There is
great work. You're building the tracking dashboard you wish you had.
Correct. Correct. And then from a sales side, that's product on sales. I set up a call with Rostrum Records on Friday. So that is just going to be an intro call. I can invite you, Sweets, if you want to be on it, or if not, let me know. I'll invite you. You can option to jump on or not if you want. But it's just going to be intro. I don't exactly know what the deal is, but he said he wants to talk about AI and music. So there's that. I updated all of the users that we're about to give free trials to. I added their names to Superbase so that they see their name when they log in. I'm going to upload their images. So like just trying to customize that dashboard so that when they do start, it feels like it's a homepage for them. And that's kind of where I'm at. Next steps is reaching out to people. Did Steph ever DM you back?
Checking. No response from Steph. I see sent, not seen.
Okay, cool. So we can leave that. I'll also do an email to her. So we have Steph, who is open, waiting to be read. Sven hit us up asking about the IG agent for responses. I told him we're still waiting. That's a feature that's being built. But it's a feature that he keeps asking for. So it seems like it's something important. Black Flag hit us up asking when to start the trial. So I hit them up to set up an onboarding this week. And Big Ass Kids is onboarding this week as well. They sent me a bunch of artists. So I'm starting the deep research phase. I'm realizing, Sweets, that every artist I get, I do deep research on. So this also might be something that I implement next, is just there's a couple things about the onboarding that I want to think through, and it might be something we need a longer conversation on, of like getting Spotify connection so that you can see the Spotify artist when you put in the information, and then just an automatic deep research during the process of onboarding, so that once the artist is logged in, we have all of their socials, and then we also have like a deep research report in the knowledge base saved. I don't have to do it manually. That's everything on sales side. Sweet.
Love it. Let's go. We cooking. I feel like those analytics are just gonna compound on the results we're gonna start seeing.
Yeah, yo. And then Isaiah, we can sidebar about what Sweets had mentioned with the integration. I think that the easiest way to do this is figuring out how to connect. Like what would the user want to do in the interface of Recoup that lets your app go and build the thing, and then Recoup just delivers the HTML or the URL. The one thing I'm thinking through is like, what are the documents that on your website people upload, and how do we allow them to upload it in Recoup so they don't have to go to two different websites to upload documents? So whether it's like we upload it to a Supabase account and then you grab from us, or if we like that tool just uploads to your Supabase account. I don't know. That's something we have to figure out. Yeah. It's like when somebody uploads an MP3 to Recoup, where does it save, and how does Isaiah grab it?
Yep, I agree. I'll start plotting on that and then put the list together. But in terms of like experience, I think it could all be in chat, because the only thing they need to upload is the MP3 option to upload the image. But realistically, I think MP3 is enough. And then I think the chat just prompts them like, oh, we might not even have to give them all the colors. We could just ask them like, oh, what colors do you want it, or like all the options. We might just ask them like, oh, what colors do you want your experience to be? What vibe do you want it to be? Do you want it to be, edgier? Do you want it to be softer? Do you want it to be like engaging? And then we could just automate the settings there. So I'll pull a list together of stuff we need to retrieve and all the customizable options. And then we'll just find a way how we could talk somebody through that process in plain English.
Yeah, exactly. And final note, while I'm here, entire screen, let me just share this with you, because this is fire, Isaiah. And this is kind of how I see it happening on ours. We'll just kind of take the UI. So I've been playing with Manus. Well, actually, I just played with Manus and GenSpark, which are two of like the similar interfaces for agents. But this one was, so my prompt was create a mini game for my upcoming music release. My album is about my journey from New York to LA and becoming a superstar. And so it analyzed the game requirements, and then asked me a bunch of questions for the game. So I just said it's called Cross Country. It's a country album, a platformer about my breakup. Make it a classic, and all of the little questions answered, and then it went and did all of this shit, which was crazy. And then this is what it came with. You could see it did all the executing, it did all the editing for the checklist.
Fire.
It made the whole fucking thing. And then at the end, it deployed this, which is not that great, but it's like to get from one, like in one shot prompt to get this was crazy. But
that's beautiful. But that's the experience. Like if we could get that workflow, but then a better end product, then that's
exactly.
That's
and like we won't need to show all of this. I mean, we can show whatever we want to, but at the end, like you already built the back end. The difference with this is like, okay, make me like this kind of game or this kind of game. Like, so like our initial version will be make me a game, a rhythm game. And like, it'll go and make the rhythm game because we have the back end already kind of, set up. But then it could deliver.
Can you guys
this?
Can you upload files in chat?
In this?
Yeah, like in your guys's
not in ours. Not in
okay. Next. It's being pressed on. Each of us need file uploads for a different reason, so starting to get prioritized is a big need.
Okay. Yeah, because that's it does seem like that's the only thing to figure out, because all the other stuff is so plug and play. But then if we just figure out the file storage, and that's everything. But I love it. This is the ideal user experience for sure, because it wouldn't even need you. We could almost do it off that first, your reply right here, like those first one or two. We'd have everything we need if they just included the MP3 in that.
Yeah, exactly. And we could easily change. Where is Recoup? We could easily change one of these pillboxes to make, chill pill rhythm game. So like when they click it, it's like it already is the prompt and it's already going,
Yeah. No, that's
it's like make me a rhythm game section here too. So like there's a couple ways that we can do it, but like that'll make it really easy to spin up a game here. The question mark would be like, which I guess we'll be able to see, but like people will be chatting with it once it delivers to them. They'll be like, okay, cool, change the font to this, and then it'll be like, oh, I can't do that. But we'll be able to see all of the things that they want, all of the requests that they have about the game right in the chat.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because that'll let us know what to increase. But then even stuff like once that initial file is uploaded, we should be able to, like, if they want to be like, oh, change the game from purple to green, theoretically that should be pretty simple to just not have to increase file storage, point to that same thing, change the, the color, output a new link for that color. So stuff outside the crazy options we should be able to handle.
Yeah, I mean that would be the really interesting case, is like, where do we store their game code, and can the LLM edit it?
Yeah. Because it's all just a Supabase table, like how I have it set up now. So the hardest part of that is the storage of the file in Supabase itself, because we don't want people to upload. That's the problem I was running into now. Like one person uploaded the same song like 10 times. So it's like making it so it recognizes, oh, we already have this song in the database. Point to that instead of uploading a duplicate,
Yeah.
But the table and stuff is all just, that should be
you're saying it's just a Supabase table for all the things that the user can change.
Yeah, exactly.
So all the customization is just saved in Supabase. Oh, that's fire. So then you can just have the agent just update the Supabase with
exactly as long as they do.
And it just have it know what the box is of, like, oh, it can be yellow, blue, green, or whatever. Yeah, that's fire. I really like.
Let me see. But yeah, right here I could share screen real quick. But yeah, it's all just in this Supabase table. So this ID is actually what their URL ends up being. It's like game slash whatever ID. This is a link to their MP3, which is saved in a storage bin on Supabase. And this is the MIDI data. It's all saved, here. And then this is like the theme, font family, all this stuff. So theoretically, we should just be able to duplicate one of these rows and then just change the stuff in the visual customization column. It's all a JSON. So yeah, we should be able to cook. Hardest part of this is the MP3 storage and not causing duplicates on this. As you can see, it's like there's one file like 10 times right here. But outside of that, it'll be a cakewalk for us, I think, once we get into it.
Fire. All right, let me I'll put that on my list of at least just starting file uploads. So Sweets, doesn't mean I should start, or you want to just talk about the infrastructure before I start randomly going at it?
I'm visualizing you put a little paperclip button in the chat. You click on paperclip button, opens File Explorer. You select file. That context is somehow included in the chat. You save the file into Arweave so that we have it.
That's my thought. Is do I save it in Arweave? Do I save it in Supabase storage?
Arweave over Supabase storage for sure for permanence
Okay.
at a minimum.
So we'll do Arweave, which we already have set up, so that's easy. The question is like, then what do we? So those files are saved on Arweave.
Yep.
Then it becomes that's step one. Let's just get that going, and then we'll figure out how to extract and run multi-model against the files or whatever for whatever the use case is. But okay, that's easy then. Good place to start.
Do you think it makes sense to focus on one specific file type first so that you don't get overwhelmed with the complexity of trying to do audio and video and PDF and text? Or do you think it makes more sense to try to make a generic file upload that works for every file regardless of type?
I'm leaning that towards that.
The latter, more generic?
More generic, because a user's gonna want to just upload things, and if we start, we currently are already doing text, just not in chat. We can upload text with the about with the knowledge base. So like we have that set up. It's just that setup process is, and then it extracts what we feed the text to the LLM. The hard part is going to be if it's not text, where does the multi-model come into play, and how do we feed that? So if it's an image or if it's an MP3. So it's really just, text is easy actually. So maybe we separate it, that's the separation between like text files versus non-text. And I'll start with text files in chat.
Love it.
I think that makes sense.
Sweet.
Cool. Great recap this week, guys. Everybody stay cooking, stay shipping. Thank you all for watching. That's been your daily roundup. And we'll catch you next time.